back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate your support. This is the Tarotscope for the sign of Virgo for the month of April. If you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Virgo, you may want to watch this. Or if you have a heavily placed planet in the sign of Virgo, you may want to watch this. I would consider 3 or more planets heavily placed. So let's see what's going on here. Also check out the daily forecast link at the video description to figure out how you can support the channel and what you need to know when watching any of my videos. If anything here doesn't make sense, that's okay. Don't worry. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Just take what you need and leave the rest. It could be the planets that your houses are in, or it could be the degrees. All sorts of things factor into these Tarotscopes. So just to give you a broad idea of what kind of April you may be having as a Virgo, okay? If you're interested in having a personal reading, you can certainly do so and choose to do so, and you can book that through the Facebook business page. I can put the link here in the chat for you. There's also all of my different socials and stuff there that you can follow. Okay, so let's see here. Hey, Stephanie, how are you, dear? So with this deck, the signifier deck that I decided to do for the earth signs, because you guys are kind of, you know, pretty practical, no bullshit kind of people, I decided to use the Rebel deck. It's an oracle deck that gives us a little insight into, you know, what you might want to focus on, what the theme might be for the month of April, what could be going on for you guys. It is a pretty direct and a little bit harsh deck, so be prepared, but you guys, you know, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, you guys can deal with sort of that sort of stuff without too much issue. So I thought it was kind of appropriate and would be sort of fun. So let's see what Virgo's card is. Shit is going down with your job. All right, let's look at the backside and see what this says. Reevaluate, change, or change your perspective or fucking quit. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, the way that I'm going to say this, Virgo, is that a job can be a lot of different things, right? A job can be a friendship. A job can be an actual job, right? Shit might be going down at your job. A job could be a relationship. If a relationship gets tough and it becomes like work, well, hell, that's a job too. Raising a child, that's a job, you know? I'm not saying you should fucking quit on raising your child, but you might need to reevaluate how and where you're putting your energy, what your perspective is around things. If things aren't feeling pleasant for you, maybe there's a readjustment or something that you can do for yourself that will help you to find some happiness or peace within a situation that might feel a little taxing right now. So if you're feeling taxed this month or going into this month, Virgo, April's the month to maybe change that. That's sort of what I feel like this card is telling us, okay? So I wouldn't think of it as a job in literal like, you know, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job, but wherever you see things as, you know, work, stress, you might need to reevaluate, step back, take a breath, and reassess. Let's see what the cards have to say. Now, the center card is sort of the you card. It tells me where you're going to be at most of the month, not the entirety of the month. You'll go in and out of this energy throughout the month. It gives me insight into not only what you are creating, but also what you, not only how you're like where you're at most of the month, but what you could potentially be creating for the future. So this is the Justice card. I will take it. This is Libra energy, air energy, but it is major arcana. Interesting because my Taurians had a lot of major arcana cards in their spread too. So maybe this might be a significant period for you guys too. Justice would indicate wrongs being righted. First and foremost, this could be about being vindicated for some of you. Maybe there is something going on at work or within personal relationships that is not feeling very fair or equitable. This Justice card might be you seeking that, right? When we're talking about justice, I like how this says reevaluate and change your perspective. Or fucking quit. Like, you know, maybe they don't deserve you, Virgo. Maybe they don't need you anymore. Libra is all about the sign of keeping balance, and justice would be that weighing sort of what's working for you, what's not, and doing it from a very like sort of educated, smart, you know, discerning sort of place. Virgos love to how do I want to put this? Like, you guys like to think things through, right? You guys can kind of be a little bit on the judgmental side, but your guys' perceptions are usually extremely accurate too. So I think that with this justice card in the center, it speaks to the idea that if you find yourself being a little bit judgmental or a little bit like looking at situations a little bit more closely, trust what you've got going on in your mind, in your head, what you're seeing, and evaluate that, and then sort of make the best decisions that suit you, right? This could be around very significant things too. I will say that because this is major arcana. So this is a big center for you. Like, this is a big card to be as your center. So everything you're working with, everything you're looking at, everything you're potentially mulling over or contemplating, people, their behavior, how they treat you, how you guys interact, all of that sort of stuff is going to be important this month. Let's not, take it too lightly, let's say. But justice is always like fair too, in the sense that ideally, if truths come out or things that sting, things that we don't necessarily want to deal with, when we get to it, it's always for our betterment, and it's always ultimately like, right will prevail, or what is right for you will prevail. And that's a good thing. So let's go to the foundation card. This is the card from the past that kind of indicates what was going on in the past that allowed everything to be the way that it is today. It will also be the card that sort of can sometimes be driving everything into the future potentially. And we need to just be aware of that. So we've got, wow, okay, my earth signs are getting all of the major arcana. I don't know what's up with that. This is the Tower, guys. So this would indicate, this is that, remember it said over here, shit is going down with your job? That would be this Tower energy. It feels like maybe something might have fallen apart, something shifted, something ain't right, something in the milk ain't clean, as they say. And with the Justice card in the center, I think that the Tower is in the past, right? The disruption is in the past. It would have been something that maybe we didn't see coming, or we didn't really want to have come, or we thought we didn't want to, but ultimately I do think it's in our best interest in working in our favor going forward, because we have that Justice card as the center. So I think at this point, because things have been shaky, wonky, fallen apart, true colors are being shown in the past recently, it's given us these eyes of justice where we're able to see a little bit more clearly and make better, more informed decisions for ourselves. The one thing I do want to caution about is this is the foundation. So don't allow the fear of the upheaval of the Tower to bother you. Stay in the strength of that justice. Stay in the strength of that strong Virgo mind and perception, and understand that, how you choose to use that is really going to be what sort of leads you through whatever it is that you've already just been through. It's going to carry you away with some semblance of like sort of balance and grace, and you can kind of hold your head high, if that makes any sense. You'll know better. How do I want to say this? Like, from that Justice card, you're going to have an awareness that you'll be smarter this time around, right? So that maybe a situation, whatever this Tower situation was for you, and for each one of you, it may be something different. It could be a partner, it could be a boss, it could be a friend, it could be, a situation we thought was always going to be there, but it slid out from under us and fell apart right in front of us, and it was uncomfortable for us. But the Justice card shows us that we're moving into this position of strength, and in the month of April, and we're shoring things up, bringing things back into balance, and keeping our awareness about us. Now, the next card is your Spirit or Soul card. This is your higher self and what it wants you to look at, what it wants you to pay attention to. So this is the Two of Pentacles. This is Earth energy, which is Virgo energy. I'm not mad at it. I like that it's sitting up in your soul space. I like that it's a 2, which always makes me think of coupling. Sometimes that could be the mind and the soul, or the ego and the soul coming together. The Two of Pentacles is always about sort of that balance, maintaining that balance even in the midst of change or rockiness. When I see that scales in the Justice card, we also see that mimicked balance there. I like it. I feel like the Two of Pentacles speaks to, and also with this being in your spirit spaces, this is about finding that balance deep within you that makes the most sense to your Virgo nature. Because this is a Pentacles card, right? Because this is your Earth sign, this Earth element of this Two of Pentacles. So to me, this coming in is like, come on, Virgo, really get it right this time. It's not that you got it wrong in the Tower either. I don't want to say that. The Tower's never like, Tower is usually a situation that falls apart because it needs to, whether we wanted it to or not, it needed to ultimately. And I think the eyes of justice allow us to see that. The Two of Pentacles are going to allow us to really own that at a very deep level, right? That's what our spirit wants us to do, is really ground in who we are, ground in what we know, connect to ourselves at a deeper level, both mind and spirit, and work from that place and maintain that balance as you move through this month. There still could be some little bit of fallout from that Tower as the foundation. There might be, little bits here and there, other people's perceptions, opinions of whatever's going on in certain situations or whatever, maybe how you've handled it or whatever. None of that really matters, especially with that Justice card in the center and with that Two of Pentacles up top. Maintain that balance and that strength, and just keep on moving, right? The next two cards are the outside influences. These are things that could be affecting you either positively or negatively in the month of April. They can be people, sometimes events, sometimes things more vague, like belief systems or energies that are having an effect. So let's see what they are. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. I'll take that. I like that. It's funny. I want to almost say, like, is one of you, and this might just be only for one of you, but is one of you going through a divorce? Only because the Justice card speaks to that. The Tower speaks to possibly the dissolution of that relationship. The Justice card speaks to the truth or being righted or being validated. That Two of Pentacles at the spirit space speaks to, like, keeping that true nature about yourself and balance around that coupling or that issue, that relationship. And then the Ten of Pentacles could be sort of some sort of alimony or some sort of payment that comes back to you. This is earth energy, this Ten of Pentacles. It says to me that even though you've had a rough time with this Tower card in the past, the world around you, situations around you, want to sort of bless you, ideally. That's why you also want to maintain that spiritual balance that we see up in that Two of Pentacles, because it's going to make us all the more ready to appreciate the Ten of Pentacles goodness that comes in. This is like sort of financial abundance, financial well-being, feeling secure, being able to be around and provide for those that we love and that we care about. And also with that eye of justice there, we'll know who those people are wholeheartedly and not necessarily need to support those that we don't feel like are giving to us in the right way or that deserve it, right? Also, the Ten of Pentacles could indicate, opportunities. Like if this is about your job, if there's shit going down at your job, maybe it's time to quit, because there could be a new, more beneficial and monetarily, financially beneficial position coming to you soon. Keep an eye out for it. The Ten of Pentacles could indicate that too. So let's look at the other outside influence. We have the Knight of Wands. This is fire energy. This would indicate like a Sagittarius usually, but it could be Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. The court cards tend to be other people around us. So some of us could be, dealing with somebody that is of these signs. To me, the Knight of Wands isn't necessarily a bad card. He tends to want to be a little bit take action quickly, maybe not think about the ramifications of his actions, and sometimes doesn't have staying power. So keep that in mind if you are dealing with somebody like that. If it's not that, if it's like, say it's not an outside person, a specific person, maybe it is just sort of a situation that we're dealing with. We have this balance or this grounding of the Ten of Pentacles, right? Tens are about completions and closing up of chapters, feeling sufficient, taken care of. Everything here is done and we're ready to move on to something new. So we enjoy it while we can in April. The Knight of Wands might be that energy that's taking us towards that new, right? That idea of Wands being the desire, the spirit, fire, right? That movement. Knights want to move. They want to do service. They want to kind of get in there and take care of stuff. So we might find that openings or opportunities may come to us. Sometimes the Knight of Wands can be like sort of somebody coming towards us passionately. I will throw that out there too. I don't get much that you're looking for that necessarily, Virgo, with that Justice card in the center. But for those of you that might be, that little sort of separation dialogue I just had in some of these, like if there was a romantic separation in these cards, this could indicate a new somebody in the periphery, right? That might be, sort of flirting with you or showing you some attention. The Knight of Wands will want to sort of like help you, even if it's not romantically involved. He'll certainly want to come to your aid and service, especially with that Justice card there too. I feel like he would honor that you're doing the right things for the right reasons. That would speak to his knight-like tendencies. But again, make sure he has staying power. Make sure he's like sort of a solid person that we can rely upon, right? Ultimately, what I see in these cards, especially with that Two of Pentacles up above and even that Ten of Pentacles and that Justice card, is although we've been through some rough times in that Tower, we can rely upon ourselves this month. We really need to know that and channel that, especially through that Justice card, because she's really the strongest card in there. I mean, that Ten of Pentacles is nice and the Tower is strong, but the Tower is really kind of, I feel like, in the past. I feel like there might be some fallout or some, reminders. That's why it's still here and showing us a little bit. But that's also why your spirit's saying maintain this pentacle balance, right? Juggle this stuff. Like really look at what's really in front of you, what you really need to deal with, what you really need to face, what you really need to be true to. That's that Justice energy. And you will be. You will be, Virgo. You're not like any slouch. You know what you need to do, and you'll discern that very easily with that Justice card. Justice also being the sign of Libra is air, which is all about like sort of mental activity, contracts, that sort of a thing. So it can be about a legal thing that could be going on there too. Okay. Now the next card is what I call the potential outcomes. This card tells me sort of where things will end out, barring that nothing major changes, right? So it is not set in stone though, right? So if we don't like this card, we can use it as a warning to make choices and changes in our life to affect the outcome and have something different happen for us by the end of the month. But if we do like this card, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it and that we don't have to do much to change it. So let's see what that is. This is the Knave of Swords. Okay, so I will take this. Only because I like that he's in line with the Justice card, right? Because we've got that sort of air swords energy where Virgo's kind of in their intellect this month, really thinking things through. The Knave of Swords to me kind of is giving me two different vibes here. Like I said, court cards can represent people outside of ourselves, but this is like the end of the month energy, which makes me think that, like, is there some sort of secret that might come out? Some sort of detective work that needs to take place? Something that needs to be seen, learned, or heard, which the Justice card would also indicate the finding of that throughout the month. There may be something new that we need to learn as we move into May. That naves are usually like sort of optimistic and at this level where they need to learn something, right? And this being mental, swords, it makes me think that there could be a secret. There could be something that is going on with whatever went on in the Tower, right? With whatever fell apart, whatever you're reevaluating, whatever you're trying to change your perspective on, there might be something that you might learn by month's end that might teach you something new too. Not necessarily a bad thing. It opens you up to a new way of viewing things, a new way of seeing things. That would be the Knave's energy, right? Where there's almost like a youthful quality to it. Justice feels a little bit strong and a little bit sort of full force. The Knave might be about being able to relax a little bit, relax our mind, and just sort of like take in some information, some new things, and be all the more aware. There could be some secrets there, so just be mindful of that and pay attention. They could be revealed to you by an air sign, because that would be Swords energy too. That would be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Usually a younger person. A Knave would indicate a younger person. But this could just be my Virgos kind of coming to an understanding of like, oh, wow, I didn't really know that. Interesting. Now that gives me a fresh set of eyes, or a fresh way of looking at what's to come. Because now that I've gone through sort of the majority of the month in this state of like seeking justice, doing the right thing, expecting the right thing, proving my point, all of that sort of stuff, the Knave sort of educates or brings us a sort of a new awareness that we didn't otherwise know existed. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It'll be interesting to see how you guys do this month. And again, too, with that knave, I will just say this too. There's an openness and what's the word I'm looking for? Not programmability, but knaves are open to learn, and so we see this reevaluate, change your perspective. So it does. I would say that knave does have that opportunity to do that. So if you're not, if that justice card is you being a little bit too set in your ways, that's okay, because that's you being strong and carrying yourself through the month. But by the month's end, you will be able to sort of change that perspective once having learned everything you need to know about a given situation that you're dealing with. I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your forecast for the day. If you enjoyed it, or for the month, if you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button. Please share these forecasts out wherever you can, in any sort of social groups that you go to where these would be enjoyed. If you belong to a Virgo group or to a spirit or light worker group, please share these. I need to get the word out there. I would love to get more subscribers and more followers on the YouTube channel. Trying to make this a viable working channel for myself that brings people hope and insight. So please share it out if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like I said, I will put in the chat my new Linktree links with all of the links of where you can find me, how you can support me, different things you can do. On there's my Amazon wish list. If there's decks on there that you see that you are interested in seeing me unbox and use in future readings, you can always send them to me directly via the Amazon wish list. You can join my Patreon page. You can do all sorts of different things. It's all there, or book a private reading even. If you have any questions, send those over to the Facebook business page. And I look forward to see you guys next month, Virgo. All right, have a great night, you guys, and I will be back on in a moment to do Capricorn. All right, have a good night. Bye.